वासुदेवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since the tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Meenakshi Mishra.
ओ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहं ब्रह्मास्मि। Good evening, everyone. Good to see you after some time. So hope you all have been doing good and obviously have been missing me. No? Very good. But I missed you all. So I came back. If I didn't, I would have stayed there. Nahi, Vidya ji? Chalo. So here we are after a week-long gap. And after that Sunday session that might have awakened many things and most probably many questions. If not good, if questions are there, very good. That's why we are here. Namaskar, Rashmi ji. Okay. So what is going to be the question for this day? And who is going to ask that? So Kamlender ji is ready. So accept my experiences in that place. Next question, please. Okay. Chalo.
Okay.
Yeah, Kamlender ji.
Kamlender ji, please unmute yourself.
प्रणाम गुरुदेव।
प्रणाम। कैसे हैं?
बस बढ़िया, एकदम बढ़िया।
चलो
गुरुदेव, वही जो पीछे हम लोगों ने लास्ट टाइम डिस्कशन किया था मंत्रों पे, उसी में कंटिन्यूएशन में है।
अच्छा।
कि जब हम मंत्र का उच्चारण कोई कर रहे हैं,
हाँ जी,
तो उसमें किसी एक जगह पे एम्फेसिस दिया जाता है। जैसे हम भी किसी से वार्तालाप कर रहे हैं तो उस समय कुछ शब्दों के ऊपर थोड़ा जोर दिया जाता है।
बिल्कुल
ठीक है, तो इस मंत्रों में भी ऐसा ही होगा पूरा सिस्टम?
बिल्कुल 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 है।
तो वो हमें कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा कि इस जगह पे हमारे को मंत्र पे एम्फेसिस देना है, यहाँ पे रुकना है?
ओके,
उसके विषय में थोड़ा सा ज्ञान।
अच्छा, तो वो बताने वाला ही बता सकता है। जिसने आपको मंत्र दिया वो आपको पूरा ज्ञान देना चाहिए उसके बारे में कि कहाँ पे रुकना है, कहीं पे। आपने देखा है कई बार मैंने आपको बार बार बोला है कि इसको काटो, यहाँ पे नहीं चाहिए ये, यू कट इट डाउन। जैसे आपको याद होगा बटुक भैरव का ओम बम बटुक भैरवाय नमः जब कर रहे थे, हम नमः बोल के बोल रहे हैं, नमः नहीं होना चाहिए वो। तो वैसे ही और एक एक वर्ड है, ओम बम बटुक भैरवाय नमः, बम बोल के देखो, इट शुड हैव ए इम्पैक्ट ऑफ दैट।
ओके,
क्योंकि वो चीरने वाला मंत्र, फाड़ देने वाला मंत्र है वो। सो ओम बम बटुक भैरवाय नमः, जो भी जरूरी नहीं वो फट जाए और जो जरूरी है वो आ जाए। सो उस चक्कर में जब कहा जाता है तो एक एक शब्द की उसके ऊपर व्याख्या की जा सकती है। और जैसा आपने सही में पूछा वैसा ही होना चाहिए। लोग तो माला लेके बैठे थे, ना वो ओम है, ना नमः है, ना शिवाय है। ओम नशी 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 हो गया तो उसका क्या होगा? मतलब ये मानो जैसे कि एक छोटे बच्चे का पूरा नाम नहीं बुला के एक निकनेम होता है ना।
बिल्कुल,
हाँ बुला भी सकते हो, लेकिन वैसा पहले रिलेशन तो बना लो पहले। लेकिन मंत्रों के साथ अक्सर ऐसा नहीं किया जा सकता, क्योंकि मंत्र का एक तरीके का बोलने का कारण यह है कि बिकॉज ऑफ द वाइब्रेशंस दैट यू विल क्रिएट। तो उस वाइब्रेशन को क्रिएट करने के लिए, जैसे हमने बहुत लंबी चौड़ी व्याख्या की थी उसके, कि ये बाहर की तरफ नहीं अंदर भी वही वाइब्रेशंस बनने चाहिए। और उन वाइब्रेशंस को बनाने के लिए आपके अंदर उसी भांति का शब्दों का इस्तेमाल करना पड़ेगा। अगर मैं ओम 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 कर दे तो ये अलग हो जाएगा। ये ओम बोलना और ओम 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 बोलना, इसमें बहुत डिफरेंस है।
बिल्कुल।
क्योंकि मुझे अगर मेरे नाभि के ऊपर उस वाइब्रेशन को क्रिएट करना है तो मुझे वो शब्दों को नाभि से निकालना पड़ेगा। अगर मुझे अपने ब्रह्मरंध्र को जागृत करना है तो मंत्र को वहां पे लेके टिकाना पड़ेगा। तो वहां जाके जब हिट होगा वो, तब जाके वो मंत्र कार्यरत होगा, नहीं तो मालाएं जपते रहो। और दूसरी बात हो गई, रटने से नहीं होगा, क्योंकि रटता तो मिट्ठू भी है। अगर आपने एक तोते को भी सिखा दिया कि राम 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 बोलो, वो राम 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 बोलता तो जाएगा। उसके, ये नहीं कहूंगा कि उसकी कुछ सदगति नहीं होगी, लेकिन एक इंसान को जितनी उससे चीजें मिल सकती है वो शायद उसे ना मिले, क्योंकि उसको पता भी नहीं है कि वो क्या बोल रहा है। और तभी आप एक सवाल मुझे पूछते हो, क्योंकि आप ही ने पूछा था कि तो फिर ये मंत्र का अर्थ क्या है।
बिल्कुल।
जब मंत्र का अर्थ पता चले तो मंत्र का जाप करने का तरीका बदल जाता है, नहीं?
बिल्कुल।
हालांकि ऐसे कई सारे मंत्र हैं जिनका कोई मीनिंग नहीं है। जैसे बीज मंत्र जितने भी हैं उनके कोई भी मीनिंग नहीं है। बाकी जैसे रह गए मंत्र, जैसे हो गए जो जनरल मंत्रस हैं, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, वो आप पढ़ते ही आप समझ जाओगे कि वो क्या है।
बिल्कुल सही है।
ओम नमः वो मेरा नहीं है, भगवते वासुदेवाय वो उसका है। तो ये बहुत सरल मंत्र हैं। लेकिन जब हम ये अभी जाके आए मणिमहेश कैलाश में, तो वहां पे एक दिन सेशन हो रहा था और पूरे लोग जो थे उन्होंने एक सवाल पूछा था और वो सवाल का उत्तर मैंने दिया था। शायद हरिभाई इन लोगों को भी दे देने से शायद पता चल जाएगा कि क्या डिफरेंस है, और सही सवाल पूछे हैं कमलेंद्र जी तो शायद उसका उत्तर भी आ जाना चाहिए। आप लोग कितने लोग कहते हो हर हर महादेव? वो तो ये ग्रुप में पूछो मत, कहीं बाहर जाके पूछो। यू कैन आस्क somebody else but not here in this group who says हर हर महादेव। नो, एवरीबॉडी सेज हर हर महादेव। लेकिन कमलेंद्र जी बताइए हर हर महादेव का मतलब क्या है? इतने साल से जप रहे हो, यू हैव बीन चैंटिंग दिस हर हर महादेव हर हर महादेव हर हर, बट व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दैट? अब विद्या जी हंस रही है, देखो, बोले मुझे पूछो मैं बता दूंगी। सो क्या है कमलेंद्र जी हर हर महादेव का मतलब?
कभी जानने की कोशिश भी नहीं करें, कभी बिल्कुल बताइए।
क्योंकि ये कहते सब ही है, जानता कोई नहीं है, बिकॉज एवरीबडी जस्ट देयर आर टू वेज ऑफ इट। और जब मैं बता दूंगा तो आपको उसका डिफरेंस भी पता चल जाएगा। आज तक फॉर ऑल दिस डेज यू आर शाउटिंग हर हर महादेव, सो दैट इज ए शाउट, एक लाउड वॉइस निकलता है अंदर से। लेकिन जब मतलब समझ में आ जाएगा ना, तब साउंड नहीं निकलेगा, पुकार निकलेगी। क्या है डिफरेंस समझ में आ रहा है? एक होता है चिल्लाना, दूसरा होता है पुकारना। So one is shouting, the other is calling. So there is a huge difference between shouting and calling. Yes or no?
Absolutely.
तो आज तक चिल्ला रहे थे, अभी जो बता दूंगा तो चिल्लाओगे नहीं, पुकारोगे। So there will be a calling for that. So हर हर महादेव, ये हर हर महादेव का मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of this? हर means what? The one who takes away all your problems, pains and issues of life. हर हर। और एक क्या होता है? हरि का जो सबसे प्रिय होता है वो भी हर होता है। तो हर हर महादेव मीन्स हर, जो सब कुछ हर सकता है, हर ले। क्या मेरे जीवन में मुझे जो नहीं चाहिए वो सारी चीजें हर ले, कौन? महादेव। हर हर महादेव, हर मीन्स ए हा, जो हा जो सारे चीजों को हर ले सकता है उसे मैं पुकार रहा हूं, हर। फिर मेरे जीवन में जो नहीं चाहिए वो सब हर ले, कौन? महादेव। तो अब कैसे बुलाओगे बोलो? अब पुकार होगी या चित्कार होगी, ये बताओ। Will you just make the noise or it will be like a calling from within? हर हर महादेव means now I'm calling that to take away all my issues and problems of my life.
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ कि जब अर्थ मालूम पड़ जाता है किसी भी चीज का ना, तो एक अंदर से उसके कहने की मजा ही अलग हो जाता है।
नहीं, उसी दिन जब हम वहां बैठे थे तो मैंने इनको जब बताया तो मैंने कहा अब हर हर महादेव कह के बताओ। उसका
अब वो
मीनिंग ही
चीज
बदल
नहीं
जाएगा,
निकलेगी।
उसका मीनिंग, द एंटायर मीनिंग ऑफ दैट हैज बीन चेंज्ड.
Absolutely.
Now the way you say Har Har Mahadev is not just from coming from here and throwing it out. It just
Yes.
comes from your existence altogether.
Absolutely.
So it is so beautiful out there. Har Har Mahadev. And now people say, when I say that, it is a very different compared to the other people shouting it. I say, because I don't shout, I call. And now from this day on, I think like you are also going to go through the same phase of things. आप भी
बिल्कुल।
उसी तरीके से अब से खाली चिल्लाओगे नहीं, आप शायद उसको पुकारोगे.
बिल्कुल सही बात है।
अच्छा, तो ये क्या हो गया? When you have problems in life, you call Mahadev and Mahadev takes care of it, right? और ये है हर हर महादेव. और एक है क्या? बम बम भोले.
बम बम बोले।
इसका मतलब क्या है बताओ? प्रीति जी बता देंगी अभी. नहीं? ओके, कमलेंद्र जी आप ही बताओ, बम बम भोले क्या होता है?
नहीं, बस बोलते हैं, बोलते आ रहे हैं बस।
ओम नमः शिवाय जो है, ये वेदों में कहीं एक जो जगह पे इसका वर्णन है. ये जो बम बम जो है, ये भी वेद में सिर्फ एक ही जगह पे ये शब्द का इस्तेमाल हुआ है. इन ओनली वन प्लेस इट इज बीन टोल्ड बम. द वर्ड बम इज अ रूट मंत्र, बीज मंत्र है वो. व्हेन यू से द वर्ड बम, हाउ डू यू से दैट?
बम.
हाँ, what is the impact that it creates within you?
It's right from the.
It just like
yes,
breaks from the nucleus.
Absolutely.
मतलब जड़ से उसे तोड़ देता है. इसीलिए
Absolutely.
that English word is also coming from the same time word bomb. So that means what? If you throw a bomb, what it happens? It destroys everything around it. ये जो बम जो शब्द है, ये भी वैसा ही काम करता है.
Okay.
But then why will you call Mahadev to destroy all these things? Bam bam bole. हर हर महादेव तो बोल दिए. Like you said, like हर हर महादेव, हर ले वो महादेव जो भी मेरे प्रॉब्लम है हर ले. So हर हर महादेव. लेकिन बम बम बोले, ये कहाँ इस्तेमाल होता है बता देता हूँ. Because nobody knows that. They just shout out, but they don't know why they shout it out. And इसका वर्णन भी नहीं है, इसीलिए people even are not aware of this word. बम बम बोले मतलब अगर मेरे से कोई गलती हुई है, if I have done something wrong, तब मैं कहता हूं बम बम बोले. मीन्स whatever error I have done, may that break out. लेकिन तुझे भी गुस्सा आया होगा क्योंकि मैंने गलती किया. You might be angry. हाँ, so मैंने क्या कहा? बम मीन्स मेरे जो गलतियां हैं वो टूट जाएं. बम, तू गुस्सा होगा लेकिन तू भोला है, तो माफ कर देगा. तो हो गया बम बम भोले. इसलिए भोले यूज होता है. उसके साथ बम बम महादेव नहीं कहते हैं, बम बम शिवा नहीं कहते हैं, बम बम भोले कहते हैं. So that it works as a neutralizing factor at the end. तो मैं क्या कह रहा हूं? नहीं, तू गुस्सा होगा, मेरे से गलती हुई वो तोड़ दे, लेकिन तू तो भोला है, तू मुझे माफ कर देगा. यानी सी कितने प्यार से भगवान को भी मना लेते हैं. But this is where we. तो अब क्या करते हैं जानते हैं लोग, कमलेंद्र जी? When I said both of these, now they are not saying one, they are saying both.
हर भी ले और माफ भी करते हैं.
because they don't know that might be somewhere I might have done a wrong. तो क्या कहते हैं? हर हर महादेव बम बम भोले.
अब यही सर, अब ये मीनिंग्स मालूम पड़ा ना गुरुदेव, अब इसका असर बिल्कुल अलग हो जाएगा. बोलने का भी हमारा
असर खाली नहीं कमलेंद्र जी, अब जब बोलोगे ना आपका हृदय थिरकने लगेगा उस शब्दों से.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Your heart will start pounding, dancing along with that.
बिल्कुल सही बात.
There are surely certain mantras for whom we don't let you know about the meanings of it. Reason behind it is knowing this is important. ये हर हर महादेव हो गया, because these are common mantras.
बिल्कुल सही.
ये जानना जरूरी है. लेकिन कुछ ऐसे मंत्र है जिसका मीनिंग नहीं बताया जा सकता. Because if I give you the meaning, the mind will be lost in the meaning, not in the mantra. Because every time you, अभी देख लो, अभी हमने अभी रिसेंटली बात किया था, क्रीम क्रीम क्रीम.
Yes.
क्रीम बीज मंत्र है, लेकिन अगर आपको एक बार भी फेशियल क्रीम का याद आ गया ना,
तो गया.
Even once you cannot tell the mantra. You say cream, अच्छा, that cream. No, it is not that cream. It's a beej mantra. So sometimes knowing that specific meaning also stops you from doing that job. So in such cases, it is not told, but where it is required, it should be told. And when you know now, you can, the shouting becomes a calling from the internal soul all together, like to that ultimate.
अब तो खैर इन दोनों को बोलने का एक अलग ही वो आएगी, फीलिंग ही अलग हो जाएगी.
फीलिंग नहीं, आप जितने बार बोलोगे आपके अंदर कुछ अलग ही हो जाएगा.
बिल्कुल.
Now with these two words, you will give your entire prayers to him.
Absolutely.
Now आप कहते हो ना कि मेरा जो भी है सब तेरे पास छोड़ दिया. I am giving everything to you. That means when I say Har Har Mahadev, I have left everything to you. And Bam Bam Bhole, may you be graceful enough on me. So I believe that's the importance of those words. So you should use it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
शायद उसका समय अभी था, तो अभी शायद उतना जाप करने के बाद आपको मीनिंग पता चलना था.
ये भी हो सकता है.
So now you got the things of it, but as and when time comes, I will reveal all those. So don't worry, because things should come in the right time, in the right place. क्योंकि वो कहते हैं ना कि भगवान देता वही है जो आपके लिए सही है.
नहीं, ये बात है.
So तब तक के लिए, for till that time, you have to just be there around, stick around, and surely why not? Many things are coming, but yeah, Mahanirvana, get ready. Because I was halted back in the Himalayas for another 30 more minutes. All the people left, but I was still there. So Mahanirvana, get ready. Those 30 minutes were for you. Okay. चलिए कमलेंद्र जी, धन्यवाद. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Kamlesh ji.
So where is Deepika ji? She raised her hand and she left somewhere. Okay. So no more questions. Very good. So you want to give me a rest? Amazing people you are. Thank you so much. Okay. Done. So Hari bhai, any questions from your side today?
No questions.
How was my experience? You should not ask me. You should ask the people along with me. And if you really want to hear it, you should call up Vidya ji and she will tell you all the story. How she did the magic and how she created all that. Or else Pradeep is there. You can ask that fellow also. So there are many people those who can speak. But I'm not sure if they could do the justice to what they went through by words. But still, yes, whatever they can share, it would be, I think, enough to blow your mind. So that is some other day stories. Hari bhai will share towards the end today, I believe. Okay. Okay. So any other questions? No questions? So Hari bhai, please take over. I will take a rest today. Okay.
I think Deepika has raised her hand and I think she left somewhere.
I'm not sure if she messaged. Not sure if she can take up the question. And yeah, before some other question comes up, I got a few questions from other people as well. Okay, Deepika ji. So is it, can you still ask the question or how is it? She is driving, Hari bhai. Okay,
fine.
So there was a question from many of the people that kya leke aaye? What have you brought for us from there? आप क्या लेके आए? मैंने कहा कुछ नहीं. बोले इतना अच्छा जगह है, कुछ भी नहीं मिला. मैंने कहा कि खाली हाथ आया हूं ताकि आपको लेके जा सकूं। लाया कुछ नहीं, ले जाऊंगा जरूर। So which is better? Should I have brought something for you, or I came empty-handed so that I can take you there back? That is much better, na? And Sudhaji, ask those people. I have told earlier, na Sudhaji, ki I will go to that place not to take you, but to bring you back from that place. And you ask these people, some people were not ready to come back. I said, nahi, samay nahi hua, bhago piche wapas chalo. It's time, still time is there to be in this place. So you have to return back. So we pulled them out. Shiva Guruji, literally those people said, no, why not stay some more? I said, not required. But it was really an amazing, amazing space to be. And surely thank to everyone who was a part of it. And also thank you to all those who were not part of it as well. Because that gives us another opportunity to visit such places. So everything from starting from home to reaching back home and being at home, all was so magical. Every single thing. And as I was talking to Rajanji, wishing his birthday, Rajanji said, Haribhai will share his experience. Then Rajanji said, wo experience share nahi karenge, wo lalach denge. He will tell you so many things that you will be, oh, why I missed that? And all that was like all the souls, those who were there. I believe it was one of their best times spent of their lives. Same with us, same with me. Because the experiences that they saw cannot be perceived by the mind, and still Haribhai is asking me, why you only talked about it earlier, today you showed it how it is done. And then I said, it is not because I wanted to show you what I can do. I just wanted to show you that this is what you can do. And quite literally, not possible by humans, what they saw. And in one word, we actually moved all the 5 elements. All the 5 elements. None was left. And they saw for the first time how they move on my command. And that's where all that things. So I think no one is going to ask question after that. So Haribhai, I think like you can cut down on the YouTube live now, and now you can share, because people are more interested in listening to you rather than me today. And yes, this Sunday we will be continuing the last 2 points of it. Because last Sunday we did 2 points of that, and that was quite a ride, isn't it? And yeah, some part of the second point is still left out, and 2 more points we will be covering that. But how many of you felt after going through that Sunday session, after a few hours also you felt like it was a day of celebration? It literally felt like that, as if you really realized something. And amazing, because even till now the people, those who had not attended that, now listening to it and saying the same feedback to me. And throughout the day we were also dancing. So shall we bring upon Haribhai or Chinnu first? Haribhai, bring on Pradeep first.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Now,
Pradeep,
Shiva Guruji, all these
please.
people have given their names as a permanent name to me. They say, don't ask us the next time wherever you go. You just take our name and we are there. and you need not ask us. I said, okay. अरे ये नवनीत जी का बैकग्राउंड इसके पीछे कैसे आ गया? Okay, no problem. Yeah. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, be ready. After his sharing, I will take up the questions again. Yeah, so Pradeep, please.
Yeah, Pradeep, please.
Oh, sorry, unmute.
Yes. Hi all. Good evening. Har Har Mahadev. Bam Bam Bole. It was great experience from the starting to end. As who were there on the Mahakal group, everyone should be aware of that short clip where Mahadev sent about the start and end of the trip. I think Haribhai will be playing that, and it is a just small gist. What all challenges we faced and how the trip went from there. And as said, the 5 elements were completely visible for us, and it was like if I tell it, it will be a magic for you, everyone who is not there, because seeing with the eyes and believing it is at the next level. What Guruji was doing there. And there was a small process done at the place, Mani Mahesh Lake. And it was like, I can't express in the words only, where Guruji had to call us back and tell to move out from this place. And with the element part in the lake, he showed us how the energy sustains gravity also. It can float. Actually, the Meru Mala, the Meru Rudraksh was floating when Mahadev put the Rudraksha in that lake because of the energy in the Rudraksha. And we were putting the Rudraksha in the lake actually, and Mahadev put his Aksh in the lake, and he gave his tribute to Mahadev in that way. And coming to that play which he played, and which everyone can't believe it right now, because I have seen with my eyes, and with his hand gestures only, he can create ripples in the water, stop it, guide it through where should it go and where should it stop. Multiple ripples can be, water waves can be stopped at once, moved, and it was like, I was like continuously laughing with happiness inside me. How is this possible at all? So that's where. And other than that, when we were having a casual walk in the evening from the hotel to Chaurasi temple, that is the 84 temple place, and we were walking around the temple, and I think Alivaji knows the magic happened there while having Harati was done over there. Every temple where Manoj Bhai was visiting, he was getting a Harati in each of the temples there. So that's one thing which surprised me. And other than that, while we were walking around the main temple of Mani Mahesh, suddenly I stopped. I had a vibration in my third eye, and I don't know why I stopped, but once I felt that vibration, I just stopped, and I was standing there. Manoj Bhai was in front of me actually. He turned me and said, "He's calling you, right? Chalo, we have to go and visit the temple now. Darshan to karna hai." So I was like completely shocked on that day. Why that energy came, and that way I was diagonally to that temple, not even straight facing also. That's my experience to summarize, and I think I missed many things which I couldn't explain it, but this is how it is. Har Har Mahadev.
Har Har Mahadev.
Bam Bole.
Bam Bam Bole.
Thank you so much, Maharaj Bhai. It was a great call for me.
Can you see, Rajanji, you can see it very clearly. The moment he's speaking, something is happening to him. And in that moment, he's going back to that space. The pull is still there and he's closing his eyes. And if he can sit here right now, he will start crying.
Absolutely,
Because
Maharaj Bhai.
that's the kind of space. You see, he's not able to sustain that energy. He's trying to throw it off. And that's the energy that is there. And literally there is a small clipping that Lavanya ji has taken, and if I show you that clipping is enough to make you understand what might have happened there. So slowly the colors is being taken off. Now thank you Pradeep. I believe like what you shared, I know it is nothing when compared to what you experience, because शब्द बड़े कमजोर होते हैं. And still, thank you for sharing it. And
Thank you so
get
much.
ready. Much more is there. Thank you on behalf of everyone for sharing.
Thank you all for listening, and yeah, it was a great experience. Everyone should have it.
अब तुम बोल रहे हो कि जला रहे हो?
नहीं भाई, आपके साथ रहना बोल के बस.
Oh my God. So Hari bhai,
Yes, ma'am.
get along. So all of you know, till this date, Hari bhai used to only tell you the story about the coffee shop, right? This time he has something new to tell.
Many things, actually, many things. I mean, the trip was so awesome, and हर दिन हर क्षण एक नया experience था मेरे लिए. And I was never expecting that this trip is going to be this much amazing. And अभी भी याद करें तो वहीं पहुंच रहा हूँ हर बार. And the space, the energy, the aura is something mesmerizing. बार वहीं खींच रहा था, वहां छोड़ के आने का मन ही नहीं कर रहा था. It is good that Manas was there, तो हमको वापस ले आया, नहीं तो शायद हम वहीं भटक गए. Yes, I mean, regarding the sharing, as Pradeep said, that it is very difficult. Whatever we have experienced, उसको शब्दों में बयान करना, it is very, very difficult. But still, I try to tell what I have experienced from my side. And initially, सबको पता है कि we were very few people. We were planning to do the Mani Mandiresh, as the terrain was very difficult. We don't want to take any risk, and that's the reason even Guruji said that this time we will not take anybody. Only a few people will go. So initially the list was only for 5 or 6 people, but all of a sudden, I think just 2 days before that list increased, and that was the first miracle I saw.
Not 2 days before, on the same day when we had to catch a flight at night,
Yes.
2 o'clock. And in the afternoon, 2 o'clock, I get a call.
And suddenly there were another 7, 8 people. And the first shock I got was in that 3 people are senior citizens. 70, 73, 76. And that was one of the best, I mean, first shock I got. And later on, I called up Manaji, ye kya hai? I mean, we were thinking that we will not take risk, and as this terrain is very difficult, and now we see that we are carrying 3 senior citizens. Maharaj ji, ek hi baat bole. See, it is all falling. If he is prepared, then they are prepared, then they will go. And there were no questions in my mind, actually. And our journey started like that. And the surprising part was there were so many people who were ready in Aham Brahmasmi to take part in this journey, but nobody was allowed, and there were few people who were completely strangers to us. Even they did not meet Manaji. Even I am meeting for the first time. Only I was aware of Vidyaji, and there are so other people who are coming for the first time, and I'm sure. And when we were discussing, Pradeep was asking, Kartikeya was asking, अरे कैसे होगा हरि भाई फिर if they are not aligned कैसे होगा? I mean, दो ग्रुप फॉर्म हो जाएंगे, हम एक जगह रहेंगे, वो अलग जगह रहेंगे. So I said only one thing, भाई अगर if there is a calling from them, that means there is some kind of preparation. Without preparation ये कॉल हो ही नहीं सकता. अगर वो लोग आ रहे हैं, गुरुजी अगर बोले कि उनके लिए आने के लिए, there is some kind of preparation, don't worry. और यही चीज मैं रिमाइंड किया था even Pradeep को, Kartikeya को. Actually Kartikeya and Pradeep, they were not in the list when we are traveling to Isha Center. All of a sudden they jumped into this trip, and in that trip changed completely their life. You can ask them. And then same thing I told, if that trip changed your life and Kartikeya's life, definitely this trip is going to change their life. Don't think that they are strangers. Already their preparation is there. That's the reason they are with us. And we never think and we never thought that there are going to be any hurdles. हमको completely पूरा भरोसा था that we are going to have a wonderful trip. And we started our journey. First day to we traveled from Hyderabad to Delhi. Delhi से फिर अमृतसर गए. अमृतसर में there was huge rains. There was no clear visibility. We were roaming around over Amritsar. They did not get the signal to land, so again came back to Delhi. Delhi में फिर 1 घंटा 2 घंटा spend करे airport में. Then we came back to again Amritsar. So there was to and fro. 2 बार फिर दिल्ली के जाके अमृतसर जाके आए थे हम लोग. So that was because see, it never happened. इतने बार मैं भी flight गया. Even Sandhya ji was there. She traveled a lot. So many flights she has traveled, and it happened for the first time for her also. And we were not thinking why it is happening, but थोड़े लोग सोच रहे थे कि क्यों हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है, जा सकेंगे नहीं जा सकेंगे, अगला फ्लाइट कैच कर सकेंगे या टाइम पे जा सकेंगे नहीं जा सकेंगे. But we were not having any doubts. As soon as we landed in the Amritsar, there was a journey of around 10 hours journey. We reached around 2 a.m. 1:32 a.m. at the hotel. वहाँ पे रेस्ट लिए थे, and उसके नेक्स्ट डे हमको ट्रैकिंग करना था, almost 13 kilometers का ट्रैकिंग. And completely weather change हो गया. There was huge rain, but still we wanted to travel. So हमने पूरा ट्रैकिंग वेकिंग कपड़ा वपड़ा रेनकोट everything were fit and जर्नी चालू करते we started even driving. Almost I think 10 किलोमीटर गए थे, एकदम हमारे सामने एक बड़ा सा लैंडस्लाइड हुआ. अगेन क्वेश्चन पॉप्ड अप एवरीबॉडी, अरे क्या हुआ, इतने दिन से इतने मेहनत से आए, हम जा सकेंगे नहीं जा सकेंगे. But Guruji was literally happy. No, if something was there, something will work out. No, don't worry. लैंडस्लाइड हुआ, हम लोग फिर वापस आ गए. नेक्स्ट डे उस दिन रेस्ट लिए, फिर नेक्स्ट डे हम फिर ट्रैकिंग नहीं कर सकते थे because we did not have that much sufficient time. So we took a flight, हेलीकॉप्टर से लैंड हुए गौरीकुंड में, and that was amazing place. इतना ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस था, इतना वहाँ का ऑरा, उतना उसका एनर्जी, इट वाज ऑसम. एंड वहाँ से हमने फिर मणि महेश गए थे. एंड मणि महेश इज द प्लेस वेयर एक्चुअली द मणि महेश का जो लेक है वहाँ रहेगा. जेंट्स वहाँ नहाते हैं और लेडीज जो है ना गौरीकुंड में नहाते हैं. तो whoever were traveling with us, all ladies, they took bath in the Gaurikund, and all the gents, we were only 4 gents, including Manasji. So we took bath in the Manimesh lake. And वहाँ पे जब one more important thing was actually this is a season. This Manimesh is open only for 15 to 20 days. It will start from Raksha Bandhan and it will end up at Krishna Jayanti, Janmashtami. So it is only 15 to 20 days. And actually speaking, there will be a huge crowd. Thousands and lakhs of people, they travel only for this particular journey. And we were so lucky that time landslide was there. There were so many, there was huge rains. Nobody came actually. And actually it was shut down. As we were traveling up, that was shut down completely for 3 days. And that Bani Mahesh was completely for us. And hardly I can see few people pilgrims who were there. Actually, on that day, on Raksha Bandhan, there will be thousands of people. And I felt that Bani Mahesh was exclusively only for us. And we were sitting on the lake, doing the process. And something that was amazing for us, And yeah, definitely I will show you that clip, what has happened that day. As Manas Bhai has done that process for all of 3 people, and that took us to the next level. I mean, it is very difficult to, put it in words, but definitely I can show you that clip at the end. And as we were talking to Manas Bhai earlier also, see, he has said so many things. Hari, I can do so many things, but I don't want to show you. Magic karna, it is not a big thing for me. But on that day, I have seen with my eyes what has happened. After that processes and everything, Manas Bhai was doing cleansing of all Rudrakshas. He was taking each and everybody's Rudraksh and doing that process, cleansing of that Rudraksh. And after that, he told us, all of us, to sit down. And we all sat together with Manas Bhai. And he started that all these days you have seen only this right hand. And this day I'm going to show you what my left hand can do. And with his left hand, when he was blowing like this, the wind was blowing like that, and also the waves are blowing like this. And whenever he was saying, come this side, and the wind is blowing like this, and the waves are coming like this. But still I said that I'm very logical. I couldn't believe, and I was thinking that, okay, maybe that wind is traveling like this, that is the reason wave is coming like this. And immediately when he was saying like this, the wind is changing and the waves are traveling like this. And literally he has done almost 10-15 times. But still my mind was not convinced. I was believing that maybe that wind is traveling like that and the wave is acting accordingly. But there was a certain point where he stopped that wind and the waves together. And that was the point where I convinced myself that this is what he can, when he was doing that. I was not able to believe that. And he was talking this many times, but I have seen it for the first time, where with his left hand, he can control the waves left and right, and whenever he wants, he can even stagnate it. And we were literally laughing. Laughing, crying, and we were not able to understand what is happening. But this is the magic we have seen with our naked eyes, and that was so amazing to see it. And all the processes, that space, and as we did that puja and everything, I think that was the evening time where there was a lot of fog in the mountains. The actual Kailash, he was completely covered with fog. And when he said that, now do you want to have a darshan of Shivling, the Kailash, the main Kailash, it has a small space where there was ice, glacier was there, and in between there is a small Shivling, which was not earlier visible. And as he showed the wave that it is going to clear, and it showed that Shivling, and wo jo prakash tha, and that rays, the reflection tha, it was looking like completely gold. And I think you have seen those pictures, how that mountain was looking like a gold and everything. Now it was just like a Swarna Karshan Bhairav. That was amazing to see actually. And each and every, we spent only few, I mean, not only 1 hour, but I think 1 hour se bhi kam time हमने spend किया था, but it was looking like, I mean, something कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा हमने उधर spend किया वैसा लग रहा था. And we were not able to even control time. एक के पीछे एक चल रहा था. And उसके बाद में हमने प्रोसेस किया, दर्शन किए, हमने वापस आए. वहाँ से, yeah, I mean, that experience was little different. We had to sleep in a tent, and it was completely freezing. Even the tent was freezing, as if we were in a freeze. And I was so surprised that these senior citizens, how they are able to sleep in that tents. और हमें कुछ इतना freezing महसूस हो रहा था कि they were, उनका बात तो अलग ही था. I mean, they were literally so active, so sportive. Literally हमको कभी-कभी लगता था कि ये एज में हम ऐसा कर सकते थे क्या? I mean, we were worried. I was little worried that कि senior citizens इसमें कुछ हो गया तो health issues आ गए तो कैसे होगा? But these people were so active. Really, I mean, it inspired me so that हमें भी इनकी तरह active होना चाहिए उस एज में भी. And literally, without hurdle, everything went off very well. हाँ, last में कुछ हुआ था. When we were traveling initially with Delhi to Hyderabad to Delhi, Sudhaji called up in between. सर गुरुजी आप दिल्ली आ रहे तो फिर रुक जी, हार्ड भी था हमारा 2 घंटे का 3 घंटे का, बट इट वाज नॉट सफिशिएंट एक्चुअली. तो फिर दिल्ली कब आएंगे फिर? तो गुरुजी ने वही बताया था कि ठीक है, अगली बार आए जब जरूर आएंगे आपके पास. And literally, when we were traveling again from Manimesh to again coming back to Hyderabad, there was a sudden shift in schedule of the timings of the aircraft. The second flight got cancelled. तो reschedule हुआ. हमको 6 बजे 7 बजे का नहीं 5 बजे का फ्लाइट पकड़ना था इवनिंग में. That got shifted to 7 o'clock. एंड उसके बाद जो कनेक्टिंग फ्लाइट था जो कि तकरीबन 10 साढ़े 10 बजे, इट गॉट शिफ्टेड टू ऑलमोस्ट 1 o'clock इन द नाइट, आई मीन इन द अर्ली मॉर्निंग. सो देयर वाज कंप्लीटली 5 to 6 आवर्स का गैप. तो बाद में हमको समझ में आया कि इट वाज ऑल इंटेंशन ऑफ सुधाजी, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ द सीरियस इंटेंशन इवन फ्लाइट्स गॉट कैंसल्ड एंड रीशेड्यूल हुआ. एंड लिटरली गुरुजी वाज सेइंग, तो अगली बार जब आऊंगा तो मैंने कहा था ना आपको मिलूंगा. तो दैट डे शी केम टू एयरपोर्ट एंड शी मेट विद अस, एंड गुरुजी को मिले हैं, कुछ टाइम स्पेंड करे हैं गुरुजी से. एंड आई थिंक फ्रॉम देयर वी वेंट बैक टू एयरपोर्ट, वहां से सीधा हैदराबाद आए. एंड इन दिस प्रोसेस एक चीज मुझे समझ में आया, व्हाई दैट, बिकॉज व्हेन वी वेंट on that day, environment was very clear पहली दिन, but when we started journey, जब trekking करना था, completely weather change हो गया था. There was huge rains, there were landslides, but हमको पहले डाउट आ रहा था कि हम जा पाएंगे नहीं जा पाएंगे. but there was a, बाद में हमको समझ में आया कि कहीं ना कहीं अगर हम ट्रैक करते थे तो कहीं ना कहीं ये कुछ लोगों के लिए डिफिकल्ट रहता था, स्पेशली सीनियर सिटीजन्स के लिए. एंड दैट ही डजंट वांट टू डू दैट, एंड दैट इज द रीजन दैट लैंडस्लाइड वाज देयर, एंड दैट इज द रीजन इमीडिएटली नेक्स्ट डे फ्लाइट भी चालू हो गया था हेलीकॉप्टर का. एंड उसी में फर्स्ट या सेकंड फ्लाइट में हम ट्रैवल करके गए और उसी फ्लाइट में वापस आ गए. तो ऑल दीज थिंग्स, आई मीन व्हेन मानस भाई वाज doing all these things, we later on realized that when all these things happens, अच्छे के लिए हो जाता है. I mean, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ hurdles ना हो. I mean, इतना difficult terrain इतनी आसानी से हुआ, that was something amazing for us. And even Vidya ji bhi, I think definitely agree with me that even she did not think that इतना आसानी से हो जाएगा. And that was completely because that was managed by the universe. And कहीं ना कहीं पीछे से एक पावर काम कर रहा था कि इनको ज्यादा तकलीफ ना हो, और प्रॉपर रेस्ट मिलते मिलते लेके गया हर जगह से। फ्रॉम फर्स्ट डे ऑनवर्ड्स लास्ट डे तक हमको प्रॉपर रेस्ट मिलते गया, गैप आते गया। देन वी हैड दैट दर्शन, वी वेंट टू हेलीकॉप्टर, फिर वहां एक दिन सोए, फिर वापस आए। एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स व्हाट आई फेल्ट वाज कि कहीं ना कहीं महादेव का हाथ था, बिकॉज ही वांटेड टू मेक श्योर दैट ऑल द पीपल वेर सेफ। एंड वैसे ही लेके गया, वैसे ही लेके आया। And it is very, very difficult to tell what we have experienced, especially on that lake. I think definitely I will show you that video if you want. Definitely you'll know what we have experienced. This was the pictures. This was the Mani Mahesh Lake. I think that day we have shared a couple of pictures with you, right?
Window. No. No, beta.
See, this was the Shivling. Can you see this small dot? See, earlier it was covered with these clouds. जाते जाते थोड़ा 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 क्लियर होके then that we got the darshan of Shivling. Just check this video. Actually, this lake was supposed to have thousands of people. See how many people are there. So I think more than my words, this video is speaking, right? Which I cannot express in words. Whatever processes we did in that lake, and the processes, even we did some processes after we came back from Money Mahesh, even in the hotel. I mean, for me, it was an amazing experience because see, I get very rarely chance to sit in the process because everybody knows that every time when there was any process, I'll be sitting over the system and doing some of the other thing, right? But that day I got an opportunity because that day I was, मुझे कुछ काम नहीं था, and वो जो process कराए थे hotel में, that was something amazing, and still I am in that space, and I was still talking to Manaji about this in the morning. I think that thing shifted a lot in my life again. I mean, जो first day जो meeting था Manaji का, जो मैं restaurant का जो share करता था, I think that second incident was this lake one and this hotel one. And as I said, कि हमेशा Manas ji जो space से operate करते हैं, I mean, as he knows that, I mean, always he says that who he is, as we always says that we are God, and always he operates from that space. And I think on that day, I realized that even I am God, and I can do anything, whatever I want. And only thing is that you need to stick to that space every time. We generally tend to slip. But Maharaji, I've seen every time he works, he says from that space only. I think if you can catch hold of that space, I think everything is possible. Everything is possible. And वो जो space था, उस दिन मैं touch किया, and still I can catch hold of that space. And I think पहली बार मुझे ऐसा लगा कि I am still able to catch hold of that space. Thank you, Manaji. And I think this was one of my best trip. I think, and I mean, trip तो अभी start हुआ. I think this was my first and the best trip. बस अपना जो 47 का जो list है, and I'm glad that it started with Money Mahesh. And still there are so many places we need to visit, and definitely this time I think you all should come. The spaces are like that, and इससे बढ़िया क्या है बोले तो गुरुजी के साथ जाने का उसका मजा ही अलग है. Man, that experience is something different. Thank you, Raj, right, for whatever you did. Thank you.
So I saw that Shiva Guruji, like when I said, now see what God's left hand can do. And as I said, we moved 5 elements. The first element that was moved was the landslides. That was the earth movement. The second element that was moved was the water. The third element that was moved was air. The fourth element that was moved was nothing else but the sky. Because you could see in that image, I was showing that like my hands are going like this, and there is all clouds out there. And when we all went there, the guide who was there, he said, if you have a clean heart, then only it will show up and all those things. And people were literally thinking about their own past karmas, I believe. And they were thinking whether we'll get a glimpse of it or not. Then I said, don't worry, you are there anyways, so you just sit. But every time they were looking at me and they're looking at that, it's not clearing up. That means my heart is not clear or what? Then finally, when I did all the process, and I said, like, took my water in my hand and I said, I poured it back. And I said, now look at that. And to their utter surprise, the cloud started moving and it showed up. And not only that, I took water one more time in my hand and I poured it again. And then the sun came and shine on it as if it was made out of gold. Every single time. And the moment we said, okay, done, go. Now again, from somewhere the clouds covered it up. And then when I was doing, and Haribhai, I said, no, always like, you see some visible things. You don't see some invisible things when I speak. And that day when they were sitting around by my side on that lake, then I said, now you see what happens. Then they were in the lake and I said, now come. And what they saw after that was like there were clouds on the sky, and that was reflecting in this water. And it took shape, all took shape as round and round and round and round, everything, as if many are there. And that was reflecting in the water. And I said, now look, nothing will change there, but many things will change here in the water. Now they are looking, and literally the shape of the clouds are changing in the water. Nothing is changing there. I said, so Akash Tattva ho gaya, Prithvi Tattva ho gaya. Ab Jal Tattva dekho, how it moves. And literally they were sitting there, and I said, come. And the water started moving towards me. It created a ripple, and the ripple started moving towards me. And I said, can you see it is coming towards me now? Then others were ready, but Haribhai was skeptical. I said, okay, let's see. How can we play? So he said, okay, you want to see this? I said, go. And from that middle, the ripple went back. It's not that the ripple came and hit somewhere and went back. No, the moment I said, go back, from there itself, the ripples were going back. Then Haribhai said, okay, might be air. I said, okay, air, huh? Okay, come on again. And then started moving again towards me. And as I said, in order to just make them ensure that it is not movement of the air, I did it for 10-15 times. But you know, Haribhai is a hard nut to crack. Then I said, okay, for you, I have something. Then why I said, okay, just stop there. And that ripple was moving like this in one place, never moved anywhere. Then Haribhai broke and he said, oh, no, this is not just mere wind. And that very moment I said, okay, now go. It went off. And at the same time, the images of the cloud also vanished from the water. And when I poured that water, I said, now look, now the shivling will be visible. Within fraction of a second, it showed up. I was never seeing there. It started, and they said, now you can pour water to it. And they all poured water to over there. I took their Rudraksh and I was doing, and I showed how Rudraksh can be anti-gravity. I was putting the Rudraksh and the Rudraksh was coming upwards. Rather than going into the water, it is coming upwards. They said, how is it happening? I said, this can happen anything. Why not? And then there was a specific reason why we did that, because that's what I shared with all these people the next day. So I think it should be shared with all of you also. The reason why I took that Rudraksh from all of them and I did the process is because Raksha Bandhan, if you go and look into our Vedic literature, there is no word called as Raksha Bandhan. Rather, it is called as Shravani Purnima. Shravani Purnima has a very specific meaning. Very specific meaning because whoever starts the reading, जो भी वेदों का पाठ करना शुरू करते हैं, वो श्रावणी पौर्णिमा से ही करते हैं. And if you go to any universities, you will also see that this week, this Raksha Bandhan week is celebrated as the Sanskrit week. And all those people, those who know into that, especially the Brahmins, those who do these Vedic chantings, during this time, they go to near to the river along with their guru, they change their thread, new thread is put on, and they start their learning and all those process. Because Shravani Purnima is known as the Mokshadayak Purnima, means liberation. There are 4 major things in our lives, right? One is dharma, arth, karma, and moksha. Dharma, arth, kam, moksha. Do you know all these 4 things also have celebrations in our culture? Many of you don't know, but the moment I say it, you will realize it. So there are 4 specific things that is mentioned in the Vedas also, and 4 specific celebrations that we do for dharma, arth, kam, moksha. Dharma kaun sa? Dashera. What is it? It is winning of dharma over adharma. So wo ho gaya dharma ke liye. Dharma. Arth, Deepavali is a celebration of what? Lakshmi. Means kya ho gaya? Dharma ho gaya, arth ho gaya. Kam, holy. Why? Because when you go and put color on others, you don't differentiate between a male and a female in that space. You overcome that fear, you overcome that kind of mindset that you have. And also, as Haribhai said, the before night, when you burn the holika, it is also called as kamadahanam, means burning your desires kind of thing. So dharma, arth, kam, moksha, ye wala. This is moksha pradaya. Why moksha pradaya? Because this day you go and learn the Vedas, and the Vedas give you the ideas, the knowledge, the wisdom, and you cut down on all those ropes that have been holding you back. And that's why you get your freedom or liberation from this life. That's why it is called as the mokshadayak. इसीलिए हो गया चार, dharma, arth, kam, moksha. And these are the four major celebrations that is inculcated in our culture, even without your knowledge. So whether you like it or not, all these things are taken care of by the religion itself. We should not be calling it a religion anyways, but it has been inculcated so that at least without your knowledge, you will gain it. You see how beautiful it has been ingrained, but none of us know why we celebrate Dussehra. What is the influence of it in our lives? You see what the influences. And now what we did, these people don't have a Janevu, but they were wearing a Rudraksh. So what did I do? I took the Rudraksh, re-energized it, gave it back. But these people have Rudraksh. I was not wearing any Rudraksh. You might have seen in the video also. Because for them it was Rudraksh, and for me it was Aksh that I had to put in. So when I was sitting and I was drenching in this, tears were coming, and I took them off and put it back into that water. I said, this is what they were waiting for, and now they can go. And the moment I dropped my tears into that water, everything slowly vanished. Because they were there for that. How do you know who you are talking to? How do you know who you are sitting with? Looks like very common person and might be very, very cheerful, very, very happy. Yes, that's what I am. And why not? I am not a magician. Like I'll always wear a hat on my head and say like, okay, this is what I can do. No. And the reason, Vaniji and all the people in this room, you know why I showed that to Haribhai or all the other people there. Literally what was happening is Simi was sitting away from us and I was doing the process. And the moment I was doing the process, something was happening to her. She doesn't know what is happening to her. And literally, you know what happened? When I came back, she said, something is happening to me and it feels like you should put your hand on my head, and then only. And the moment I put my hand on her head, everything vanishes. Okay now. She didn't understood one thing. If you are part of me, when I go through that energy, you should also go through that energy. Even though you appear as two, still that energy can be felt. And every single thing has been moved. And by now, Haribhai has seen all the 5 elements moving. Fire was the first time when I took them to the pyramid. The first time when the lights have gone and the candles were burning, the diya were burning, I told him, you see how I can close them one by one. And whatever I say, that will close down. Not in a sequence, not in a number. And I said, that has to go now. The flames went off. This has to go now. The flames went off. It is literally everything is filled. The diya is filled with ghee and everything is there. It's not that it has to go. No, the moment I say go, it's gone. And then I said 1, 2, 3, 4, tuck, 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 in line. All the fire went off. So Haribhai had seen only one element, and this time I showed him how the left hand can, not even the right hand, the left hand can control all the 5 elements. And it was not to showcase anything. No, I'm not that, because people talk a lot, but they don't know what they're speaking. You remember, I always say in Nilimaji, if you are rich enough, if you have to tell people you are rich, you are not rich enough. So if you have to tell people you are God, that they are not a God. Your ways, your action, your walk, your talk, your presence itself should speak who you are. And I believe that's what they saw. It was as if the master has walked back again to the home. And the moment it walks, everything changes. everything changes. Because Vidyaji, when she called me up and she said, I don't know, the only thing I know is you are there and you are going to take care. And ask her if everything was taken care or not. And ultimately she said something like, when they were coming down from Mani Mahesh, sitting on the horse, something funny happened. I was walking in front of them. The horse person stopped them in the middle and asked them to get down. There is only one person holding two horses. Okay. Now Vidyaji anyhow managed to get down. Now Sandhya ji is on one horse, and the other horse, in order to eat grass, went down into the mountain. Now it is pulling the other horse also along with it. That very moment she is not doing it. I just ran away, I just hold the horse and pulled it back. And both the horses came back onto the mountain again. Then after that, they got down, and then I was holding Vidyaji's hand and brought her back. And when she was sitting there, she said something, right? Vidyaji, क्या बोले आप? मुझे मेरी बेटी ने नहीं, मुझे मेरे बेटे ने लेके आया है. My daughter has not brought me here. It's my son who has brought me here. I said, it's you who said that this has to happen. And the most amazing thing, Alivaji, anytime we have to change weather, we have to tell Vidyaji, and the weather changes. The moment she says, yes, now it has to change, it changes. And I believe she is the happiest among all, you know. Oh my God. And in the meantime, Nilima ji celebrated her birthday in Hyderabad, and we celebrated her birthday out there. And it being the date 13th, we had 13 kind of items. So it was all a gala time. Amazing space. And yes, I had to tell you all this because understand one thing. It's not to showcase what I can do. It's just to let you know that I want to make you that. It's not me moving. I can move anything. How about you doing it? When will you realize all that? And when Haribhai saw that exactly how it is being controlled, from nowhere waves create, from nowhere the waves vanish, from nowhere the wave stops. The moment is the moment I move my hand, everything happens. And that's where Haribhai, the next day when he sat in the room and I started doing another process, what did he say? For the first time, he felt he was God. What do you say about it? And that's what I am here. I'm not here to make followers. I'm not here to make you go run around me. No. You should become that. I'm determined to do that. And you see, just Vidyaji called me once and she said only one thing. I don't know how, but if you are there, I am coming, and I know you will take care. And ask her if anything was not taken care of. The helicopter that Haribhai is speaking about, the helicopters were to start after 2 days. Means the day we should be returning back. The helicopters were to start. But in the evening when they went, they said, yes, we are starting tomorrow, if the weather is right. And it is still raining heavily. I said, don't worry, tomorrow morning there will be sun. Until we came back, it was sunny. And the weather report showed that it is going to rain heavily every day. So can you see, if you are really ready, if you are really giving everything away like this, it's all yours. Now you take care. I don't know how, but you take care. I think he takes care. And he's known for that. And it is not just words, it is not just talks. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham is something that they might have observed this time, and they might have experienced that, yes. Because on that day when we were starting to trek, Sandhya ji was asking me, when we started, it was raining, and she was asking, how can these people go? I'm so worried. I said, don't worry. And then the landslides happened. Then suddenly the helicopter people, they said, if the weather is good, then everybody sat in the helicopter, went up. What is the problem? They also reached. And there is a reason when I call you. And when I call you, don't stop. Don't think twice. Just be there. Because Bhagwan deta wahi hai jo sahi hai. So don't think that you lost something. Don't think that you could not experience that or they were lucky enough. No. If this was for them, something else is there for you. And now, मुझे तो 2 बार लगा कि कहीं ना कहीं सुधा जी ने रस्सी बांध रखी है एरोप्लेन में, वो पीछे जा रहा है. But everything in that room also, when we were sitting, and Haribhai, how was that feeling? Like, were you not feeling all the elements? Like whatever the movement was happening in those elements is happening in you now.
Yes.
It's just like that they actually become the entire Kailash altogether, and they saw that light. Because many a time, Shiva Guruji, many people ask me, what is that Shivling? I said, just look at the Shivling. It's nothing, but doesn't it look like a diya on a stand and the diya is burning? देखा है कभी ध्यान से? अगर किसी दिए को प्रीति जी अगर एक स्टैंड के ऊपर रख दो और उसके अंदर आग बीच में जले तो कैसा दिखेगा? बिल्कुल शिवलिंग की तरह दिखेगा. So what does that indicate? That indicates that this is the light that burns within you. It is not a shape outside. It is a burning light that is ignited already within you. And if you become that Kailash, and that's what they became with every step of the process that was taken, and then they saw that light burning within them in the same shape of a Shivling. And then I asked, now see if you are that or not. And that very moment, they were not the body. They were no more that mountain. The only thing that they became was that Shivling. That light that was there, self-ignited in that space. Can you see when I say that, you feel that? And that room was closely tight, and I said, I will show you something right now. If I say sweat, and everybody started sweating. I said, stop, it is cold now. Everyone was feeling cold and all the sweats vanished. Now, how is it possible for a mind to perceive all these things? And it is not, I'm saying after 30 minutes or 40 minutes, I'm saying in instant like this. Now sweat, and everybody's wiping their head and face. Sweating is coming. I said, stop, it's cold now. The very moment they said, it is vanishing and all the air that they're taking is cold. The same room. I said, what is there that you cannot change? If you can change all the 5 elements, tell me what you cannot change. Because everything in this creation is made out of those 5 elements. And who is the master of those 5 elements? The one who can play with it. And I believe these people saw how all those elements can be played with. But don't see it. Become that. I am ready to make you that. So, and what are you going to give back because of that? You cannot give me anything. That would be the most tragic thing that you can do. Because Deepika ji, for the first time, they have seen this color fading many times. But that day, they realized, nah. He is not this body. He is something really beyond this. And he is in too much of colors of a human. How does it matter? Nothing matters to me. Whether you realize this opportunity of this lifetime to be here along with me and be better than me, or rather just pass another life to come back again into the same rut. So only request is, I don't know if I go when I will come back, but make sure you don't come back alone again. And yes, a sincere thanks to Aliva ji also, because those 7 days Imon was with them. He didn't had any complaint. They didn't had any complaint. We never thought that he is not with us. It was like he is already trained as Asango, Nirvikalpo, Nirakara Rupo. He is happy in his own dances. So, starting from Sandhya ji to Vidya ji to all her sisters and daughters and granddaughters, whoever were there along with us, to Hari Bhai, to Pradeep, to Kartikeya, I believe like I have kept my word again. I have said what all I have said, you are going to experience it. It's not mere words, not mere stories that I tell. Many stories can be told to you, but what I say is going to be a truth in your life. And you are going to not experience it after death or after 30, 40 years. You are going to experience it right away. And Hari Bhai, I believe I kept my word again. So Nilima ji, get ready for the next time. So thank you everyone for listening to this. So, but there are a long list of places that we have to travel. So are you ready? But don't come expecting again I'm going to move the ripples, okay? I can move something else. Let's move mountain this time. So those are a place of, it really felt like going home. And since that day people say, you look very different. You have a very different color. You are just smiling. I said, that's how you feel when you go back home and come back. Rather, a part of you is still at home. Which pavilion, Aparauji? There is no pavilion for me. I play anywhere I go. It's a playground, might be for humans. But yes, as you rightly said, might be the roles that we play in life. Yes, that might be a good pavilion to play around with. Yes, is it not? Taking care of the family, going into the office, doing the work, and still eating dosa and idli, and then becoming as normal as a human as you can be. Yet deep down within, you should know who you are. Never forgetting that part of us. I believe. So don't worry, your calling is coming. All those people with long faces, earlier they were round, but now they look long. So don't worry, your time is also coming. And none of you will be spared. And this is not a word of caution. This is a challenge. इसे एक शब्द मत समझो, ये धमकी समझ लो कि लेके तो जाऊंगा. अब मैं भी देखता हूं आप अपने आप को कितना दिन रोकते हो. You keep on playing your drama and you see what all I do. And Preeti ji, I could not reply back to your message. मैंने देखा है, but I will reply it back tomorrow. So ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं शायद उस दिन ट्रांजिट में रह गया आपका मैसेज. But I have not missed it. So your reply will be coming there. So now, Janesh ji, your hand must be paining. You have raised it so long ago.
Yes, Janesh ji.
प्रणाम गुरु जी.
प्रणाम.
पहले तो क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ, क्योंकि जब आपने कहा कि आ जाओ और किसी वजह से मैं नहीं आया था,
इसलिए क्या बोलना, बम बम भोले।
बम बम बोलो। मे बी मेरा अज्ञान था, या आई वॉज कमिटेड दैट आई शुड डू दिस इन दिस मैनर, आई डोंट नो, बट जो भी है क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ। दूसरा गुरुजी, ये मणि महेश का आपका एक्सपीरियंस, कैसे एक प्रश्न उद्भवा था, इसके लिए मैंने हाथ उठाया। कैसे क्या हुआ है वो तो पता नहीं, लेकिन एक हर जगह से जो रेफरेंस आता है कि पृथ्वी की रचना हुई, फिर पृथ्वी का भूमि सुतो पृथ्वी से अलग किया गया, और फिर पृथ्वी के ऊपर ये सारा हुआ। तो एट दैट टाइम some creation was happening and all the elements were in cohesion with that creation and whatever the case. अब उसके बाद जब मानव अवतरण हुए और जो भी महर्षि हो गए, ब्रह्मर्षि हो गए, उन्होंने अलग अलग जगह पे जाके अलग अलग एनर्जी ऑब्जर्व किया, प्रतीत हुआ, या खुद की एनर्जी वहां छोड़ के गए। तो मेरा प्रश्न ये उठता है गुरुजी कि जो भी ब्रह्मर्षि थे या महर्षि थे जिन्होंने एक जगह पे तप किया, उन्होंने वो तप का प्रादुर्भाव वहां पे क्यों छोड़ा, पृथ्वी पे क्यों छोड़ा?
ओके।
क्योंकि उन्होंने तप तो एक या तो जन कल्याण के लिए किया है, तो जनमानस में जाना चाहिए, वो उस जगह पे कंसंट्रेट कैसे रहा? और अगर आत्म उत्कर्षण के लिए किया है तो आत्मा उत्कर्ष होके वो तो ब्रह्मर्षि हो गए। तो वो क्या शिवत्व का वो क्या पर्पस है जिस वजह से वहां पे वो एनर्जी स्थापित हो जाती? चाहे फिर वो वशिष्ठ मुनि का माँ तारा का तप हो जो 5000 साल तक किया, और फिर माँ को श्रापित करते हुए, मंत्र श्रापित करते हुए माँ प्रसन्न हुई और गुरु के पास भेजा कि जब तक गुरु के पास नहीं जाएगा तब तक मैं तेरे से प्रसन्न नहीं होगी। वो लेवल पे भी वो अहम का जो कतरा रह जाता है, तो गुरुजी हमने कब उससे आगे आना? कब आएंगे हम सब साधना करते, सब करते, लेकिन क्योंकि ये जो अभी आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ, कॉल करने के बावजूद भी मेरी दुष्टता देखो, मैं नहीं आ पाया।
चलो
तो वो डेली से हम बाहर कब आएंगे?
ओके, सो उसका उत्तर तो स्टार्टिंग विथ that kind of people still had that kind of ego, right? उस तरीके के ऋषि मुनि बनने के बावजूद भी उनको इतना ईगो था that they were not able to go surpass that. Then what is we? हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हम तो तुच्छ प्राणी हो गए, फिर यही है ना।
वो तो एक है, और वो एनर्जी वहां क्यों रह जाती है? मतलब वो तो समझो वशिष्ठ का तो एक दृष्टांत है जो इसके संदर्भ में मेरे साथ आया, लेकिन मूलभूत प्रश्न है कि जिन लोगों ने भी किया, ये तो नॉन महर्षि है, लेकिन ऐसे तो ये भारतवर्ष में इतने महर्षि हो गए जिन्होंने कभी अपना नाम भी नहीं रखा, इतने ऋषि मुनि हो गए जिन्होंने वहां पे अपनी एनर्जी स्थापित करके चल बसे। तो जो पर्पस के लिए तप किया था, सब जो जन कल्याण के लिए किया था, तो जनमानस में चला जाना चाहिए। वहां वो जगह पे कंसंट्रेशन कैसे रह जाता है? और अगर खुद के आत्म उत्कर्ष के लिए क्या, तो आत्म उत्कर्ष होके वो तो ऋषि महर्षि ब्रह्मर्षि हो गए, तो फिर वो एनर्जी वहां कैसे रह जाती?
वेरी गुड।
वो मतलब शिव तत्व का क्या प्राविधान है कि जिस वजह से ये सब चीज हो रही?
राइट। अब देखिए, फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट थिंग, ऋषि हुए, मुनि हुए, देव ऋषि, सॉरी ब्रह्म ऋषि हुए, देव ऋषि हुए,
हाँ गुरु,
Did you realize one thing? They are all behind powers.
सही है,
Or else why they
सही
were
है,
climbing one step by one step? If you realized yourself, you don't need those powers. You are just gone. You are finished. You're done.
सही में गुरु जी, यही तो प्रश्न है.
So can you see the human, when they took this form of human, the ego that is there, the ego continues to grow. I need this, I become this. Vishwamitra का केस देख लो ना.
हाँ, सही में सही.
He is
सही,
the best
सही है.
example. From a
Yes.
king, he became a rishi. From a rishi, he became a Raj Rishi. From a Raj Rishi, he became a Brahma Rishi. Then he created his own world, and despite that, he was still lost.
Yes.
Prabhriti. And at the same time, you have the example of Dhruv.
Correct.
So when you asked me a question, if those kind of people could not come out of that ego, what can we do? I say, Dhruv ban jao. You will only have ego when you are searching for power. Why do you need a power? Because you want to showcase. Why do you want to showcase? Because you want to showcase that your ego is bigger than somebody else. But the moment you say, I don't need any powers anymore, the only thing I need is you. Only you. Then tell me, which ego are we talking about?
None.
आपका अहम भी ब्रह्म का हो जाएगा और आपका अहम ही ब्रह्म हो जाएगा.
सही.
अहम को मिटाया नहीं जा सकता, अहम को ब्रह्म बनाया जा सकता है. इसीलिए कहते हो अहम ब्रह्मास्मि. आप ये कहते हो कि मेरा जो अहम है, द ईगो इवन दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, द आई दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, दैट इटसेल्फ इज आल्सो द ब्रह्मा, not the ego. So that's how, when you give away, you raise your hand, you say, I know that I cannot walk, but it is you who has to carry me. You remember, I always used to say, Janeji, ki when we used to go in our villages, you remember, earlier days, there used to be mela lagte the na? Like somewhere the carnivals go on, and there is a small little kid. And that small little kid is not able to see anything. There is a lot of crowd around. Then what does the father do? क्या करता है पिता? उठा के कंधे पे बिठा देता है. And when the child is sitting on the shoulder of the father, he is the tallest.
He is above the crowd.
I say, do that. Don't ask God for powers. Say, I cannot walk. Put me on your shoulders, and he's ready to carry you on his shoulders. इसीलिए तो कहा है कि योगक्षेमम वहाम्यहम. If you are ready to give, or the dialogue that is going on now, वासुदेव कृष्ण नाम है मेरा, जो मुझ पर अपनी सत्ता मान लेता है, मैं खुद पर उसकी सत्ता मान लेता हूं. So what you have to do, you don't have to even worry about that ego, because it is not very easy to kill that or take it aside. उसे दूर करना आसान नहीं है, लेकिन एक ही कर सकते हो कि भाई मुझे नहीं पता. You know what was the best thing I liked the entire trip? The call from Vidya ji. And the way she was throughout, she was sitting so quite calm. I said, cucumber को भी शर्म आ जाएगी, इतने शांत होके बैठे थे वो. And she was said, no, I don't worry. She is just sitting, sipping her coffee and sitting quietly there in the restaurant. Why? We are not worried. No, he's there. No. The only thing that she kept on chanting all the days, Karthik, sahi hai ki nahi? All the days she was saying only one thing. He's there, he will take care. I don't have to worry. He's there, he will take care. He's there, he will take care. जनेश जी, हाथ उठाना तो सीखो. आप पत्थर उठा लेते हो. And especially when you are ready to go and then rain start. हरि भाई को मैंने उसी दिन उसी गाड़ी के अंदर भी बोला था, क्यों भाई? हरि भाई मुझे पूछ रहे, भाई ये क्या कर रहे हो, यहां तक लाके क्यों ऐसा? Why are you doing all this at the? I said, Hari bhai, just wait and watch. And when he's saying, he has all the logical things to ask, because the vehicle is in midway and stones are falling on that vehicle. जिस गाड़ी में हम बैठे हैं उसके ऊपर पत्थर गिर रहे हैं. And then Haribhai said, भाई क्या करना है, कुछ तो करो. There are certain things that you will never understand, because it is very easy to get away. It is easy to stop. It is easy to run away from such situations. अगर वैसा situation आए, आपको ना भरोसा नहीं रहता है, आपका भरोसा टूटने लगता है. कहीं ना कहीं आपको लगता है कि अरे इतना मुश्किल से यहाँ तक आए, अभी यहाँ नहीं जा सकते, क्या है ये. And in that time, you don't only question me, you question the divine itself.
True.
But I was not worried anytime. I said, you just sit and relax. You see what is coming next. And literally, if they would not have traveled with the helicopter, it would have been difficult for all of us to go. Rather come back on time. So Janesh ji, don't worry about that ego. Don't worry about that. All that you have to do is ask him to take care. He will be the tallest because he will carry you on his shoulders. The small little boy who could not see anything is the tallest now. I always sit on his shoulders and speak. And now think of, if you are sitting on my shoulders, you will be taller than me.
धन्यवाद.
And regarding the energy in those spaces, yes, it is because of the specific reasons that is kept in a certain place. Now just think of, if water was everywhere on this earth, where would you live?
True.
So you need land to live, and water, wherever is required, it is there. Similarly, if all this energy was spread across, then living on this planet would not be easy. But these spaces are like well, कुएं की तरह है कि जो प्यासा है वहां आएगा और उसे पानी मिलेगा. The one who is thirsty will take the strive, he will go there and get the water. Or else they will never understand the value of water, just like we don't value our breath. We don't value the time that we spend together. That's why I say, no, people come, they meet me, they laugh with me, they dance along with me, but no one sits with me. You come along with your questions, you come along with your problems, you come along with your stories, you come along with your gifts. But when did you sat with me?
True.
And if you sit, as Haribhai says, you don't have to say anything. Everything is taken care. And that's why Karthik is too confident now. He said, anytime next time, my name should be there. Without asking me. Sure, why not? So Janesh, it is good that the energies are not split.
समझ गया.
So whenever you have that calling, whenever you are ready for that, you will start walking automatically, because that calling is just like, you know how it would be? It would be like you loving someone and suddenly you see the pull towards them and you walk towards them, and then you meet that lover that you have been waiting for a long, long time. And here the person you are loving is you. And the person that you are going to meet is no one but you.
True.
And that day, the day you meet yourself. Because the calling has never been outside. The calling has always been within. The pull has never been outside. The pull has always been within. The God has never been outside. The God has always been within. And may you all realize that in this lifetime. Doesn't matter what your age is. Sharpen yourself. Get the max of this opportunity. And you remember what I said last Sunday. Shiva did not said when this body is going to fall, so that you can celebrate every moment. When should you prepare for your death? Now. When should you prepare for your liberation? Now.
True.
What is the best time? This, because you are the youngest now. And if you are the youngest now, why not now? God has given you enough time. One single call, that calling that should come from within, is enough to make you go beyond all these things. So did not think like I should be doing 40 years of tap, then only I will get it. I will do this and do that. No, I believe like God knows that this much time is enough for you to get your liberation, and that much time he has given you. When you say like, oh, look at Praneeth, he's so young and he's still in this spiritual path. Don't worry, he has to run long, I believe. That's why he's early in this race. You did not need it that much, might be. That's why you have given a small little time, because that small little time is enough for you. You always see it in the other way around. I always see it in the other way around. नहीं सुधा जी, आप कहते हैं बच्चे कितने अच्छे हैं, इनको जल्दी जल्दी मिल गया. अरे उनको ज्यादा देर तक काम करना पड़ेगा, आपको कम काम में हो जाएगा. So trust it. It knows what is best. It's not bound by age. It is not bound by boundaries. It's not bound by territories. It's not divided by space and time. Realization is a game of a moment, not a lifetime. Yes, the preparation can be a lifetime, but it happens like this. And right hand click can make you to sleep. The left hand click can move objects. But such an amazing, amazing journey, and sure, I look forward to traveling more and more with all of us together. Ready?
Yes.
Har Har Mahadev.
Har Har Mahadev.
Bam Bam Bhole.
Bam Bam.
Wow. So thank you, Janesh ji, and thank you all for your time. And literally this Q&A session moved into sharing session today, but I think it was required because a lot of people were feeling like, what's going on? What did they got? We didn't got. और कभी-कभी लगता है उनको और ज्यादा मिल गया होगा, हमको नहीं मिला. क्या-क्या नहीं मिला. You always think you lost. Why don't you think you gained? See, for this, all these things to know, they have to travel along with me. You are sitting in the comfort of your home and listening to all this. Which is better? Look at that better part of it. Always find a good reason. Always find a good reason, because that keeps you happy. Finally, before going, I'll tell you a story and I will go, so that people who are ready to sleep, they can have a good night's sleep. And the people, those who slept and got back, it can be seen from their faces itself, so don't worry. और पता है कौन कौन सोया, कौन कौन उठा, वो सब भी पता है हमको, so don't worry. So Janesh ji, that's one fine day a guru was there who always visits his students' place, because his guru's ashram was there around. So whenever he visits that town, वो वहां जाते हैं और हर बार जाके वहां पे कुछ ना कुछ experience करते हैं और आते हैं. And he stays in that house of this student, and that student was a rich guy. Okay. Every time he's a good guy, he takes care of everything. One fine day when he goes, the guru goes to his house, he saw he's very worried. Too much worried, could not take good care, and he has to go out. Then the guru asked the wife of his disciple, he said, why this fellow is so worried today? He said, he gained 10 lakh rupees today. He gained 10 lakhs, why is he worried then? No, he lost 10 lakhs also. The guru says, how is it possible? Means the money that came, it went up. He said, no, nothing as such. He gained 10, but he thought that he will gain 20. उसने सोचा था कि उसको 20 लाख का मुनाफा होना चाहिए, 10 लाख का ही हुआ, इसलिए 10 लाख का फायदा, 10 लाख का लॉस, 10 lakhs profit, 10 lakh loss. That's why he's worried. And just like us, na, there is nothing that was there. We create expectation, and then अरे सिर्फ 10 ही आया, 20 आना चाहिए था. अरे only these people went, we could not. Hello, you are creating a hell for your own self. Stop doing that. whatever has been given, it is designed for you. I am not saying destined, I am saying designed. And as I said to Deepika ji, even there will be certain places where we'll be traveling and all the people of US will also not be spared. From Canada will not be spared. The UK people will not be spared. The Australian people will not be spared. Even the New Zealand people will not be spared. So be ready for such. So all by design, not by destine. Destine, the moment you leave your hand from my side, your destiny will work. Don't worry. But when you are with me, it is all design. And let's design something really good. क्या कहते हो प्रणीत? अच्छा गाड़ी? Okay, we'll see. Yeah, Shivji, please unmute once, I think. Are you there? Yeah.
Yeah. Please unmute.
जी प्रणाम मनोज जी, you can
Pranam.
hear me? जी
Yes, Shivji, we can hear you.
जी एक्चुअली क्वेश्चन नहीं है, बट बहुत दिल से थैंक यू बोलना चाहता हूँ जिस तरह से हरि भाई ने और आपने ये जर्नी का पूरा एक्सप्लेन किया, वहाँ के हर क्षण का, हाउ द मूवमेंट्स वर, हाउ द प्रोसेसेस वर। एक तरह से हम सबको आप लोग एक मिनी यात्रा में लेके चले गए, एक्सप्लेनिंग एवरीथिंग, एंड हाउ सुधा जी की भी इच्छा किस तरह से मेड हर पॉसिबल टू मीट यू ऑल।
But still people have complained,
हाँ जी मानव जी,
लोग फिर भी कंप्लेन करते हैं। जैसे आप हैदराबाद में आने के बाद भी मिल नहीं पा रहे हो, वैसे ही लोग कंप्लेन करते हैं मुझे।
I know, my God, ये पता नहीं मैं डेस्टिनी बोलूं या क्या बोलूं।
Design, not destiny. Because design can be changed, destiny is not in your hand.
जी।
So,
जब मैंने सुना था ये यात्रा के बारे में, मेरे दिल में इमीडिएटली हुआ था कि आई शुड पुट माय रिक्वेस्ट, बट आप लोग 9th को निकल रहे थे, एंड माय होल पर्पस ऑफ कमिंग हियर वाज टू अटेंड दिस बिग वेडिंग 9 to 11 तक, एंड आई थॉट कि आई कैन नॉट स्किप विथ माय वाइफ्स पर्पस, होल पर्पस ऑफ गोइंग, कि मैं अलोन वहां चले जाऊं, एंड सो आई जस्ट केप्ट माय थिंग। बट देखिए 11th के बाद immediately wedding में भी I could not attend fully, and then I had to quarantine myself into the room. 6 days almost हो गया है, but virtually I mean हमको पूरा glimpse हो गया, right from the beginning, किस तरह से आप लोगों ने सब जर्नी किया, वहाँ के लेक का वर्णन, एंड आपने जिस तरह से पूरा एक्सप्लेन किया हमारा जी, it's an amazing thing that is possible on this earth.
at times you have to showcase. No, that's what I say. No, Shivji, people are not behind God; they are behind God's powers. So at times he has to showcase. See, it is there. It's not that what you. But literally, I'm not that. I just, if I want to showcase, I can move many things right away in front of you, but that's not what I am. But the only thing is you have to believe me and accept me the way I am, not because of my powers, not because of what I can do, but just because for what I am. Absolutely. And if you are sitting here, that itself is your preparation. That itself says that you are ready. And if you still miss the train, something. And you see how many people. And yes, one more thing that nobody knows is when we were returning back in the helicopter.
Ji.
Now, Sandhya ji, what happened? Like everybody came back. I was the only person who has to stay back.
Oh, really?
Yes, because when I sat in the helicopter, I said to Hari Bhai, Hari Bhai, mera jaane ka samay nahi hua hai. While sitting in the helicopter, I'm saying this.
Oh.
And the moment the helicopter took off, it starts shaking. As if some weight has been put on it and it has to ground again.
Oh.
And then whom they should remove if the weight is more? Hari Bhai to weight mere se zyada hi hona chahiye na.
I know.
But they removed me,
Oh.
Then I was there for 30 more minutes. More than 30 minutes actually.
Oh,
because there were still people, those who were waiting. Those were still things that has to be
oh,
listened to, talked to, or meet with, because these people won't allow me to meet with them. And they were waiting for a
Oh.
chance. And when they saw there is
Oh.
no other way, the helicopter is already taking off, he's going away. What could they do? They have to stop it.
Oh my God. ये चीज तो आपने बताया नहीं था, देखो माइको. I know there are so many entities from outside our senses and all also, that they are
Visible and invisible.
invisible to us, but they need your blessings and time to time.
Because those places, if I visit Shivji, it is very
Mhm.
difficult for me to come back,
Oh.
because there are many things that won't allow.
Oh.
But as is.
Wow, I will not take more time from everybody. I know today I'm realizing how late evenings. Normally I attend this in my morning time, you having my coffee with me, but सबको अभी नींद से दूर रख रहा हूँ. So thank you so much everyone, and Manas ji, I'm definitely meeting you tomorrow, and thanks again for sharing this lovely yatra.
Thank you, Shivji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shivji. Yeah, Deepika ji, please unmute yourself.
Pranam Mahadev.
Pranam, Deepika ji. Hi, Abhi.
Hello, Pranam Mahadev.
Pranam, how are you?
I'm good.
So, we are missing you.
Yeah, because we're now in US.
Oh, so when are we coming back, or am I going there? What is the plan?
What? Can we ask him to come? Yeah, please come here. You will have plus ones. He's talking something. Pranam Mahadev. Pranam Mahadev.
Pranam.
Actually, I wanted to hear all the experience. When Pradeep was talking, I had to go to SSN office. They were asking me to turn off the phone. I was thinking, now the recording will stop. How will I even get to hear this experience? There won't be any YouTube link and all. Then he asked me, did you travel in the last 5 days? I said, yes, I did. So I just came out running, and this was also a miracle for me, Mahadev, because hearing this, I felt like if every moment I was there. Dhanyavad for this miracle that you did today. I don't know what you did with them, but what you did with me today, for that, I'm really thankful to you. I wanted to tell that. Actually, I had a question, but after hearing this experience, I'm not sure how can I put it in words. The question that I had.
Right.
So, it's actually something similar to what you said before, like you don't know who you are sitting with, you don't know who you are talking to, you don't know. Actually, I had a question like, who created all these idols or pictures of gods? Like, what was the proof for them that these are the people? Like, is it because of the way they felt when they were with them? If that is the case, then I can't believe somebody else's belief. Then what I'm experiencing, based on that, I can have a belief that who is Shiva for me, right?
Absolutely.
So that was the question I had, Mahadev. Like, who was the one, and like, how did they
created all those?
Decide? Yeah, how did they decide? He, Shiva. Like, so is it somebody else's trust that we are worshipping right now? So that's what.
It's not trust. See, when they started driving deep within themselves and to find out if the formless has to have a form, what form should be there? And then the most and the amazing form that they could realize is the same form of them might be in a huge way, right? Why? Because that's why we say we are created in the form of the divinity itself. And when we are created in the form of the divinity itself, what kind of form can we give? And then they went deep. And in that deep sense, when I was talking about the Brihat, when I was talking about Virat in the last session, You remember I said all that accumulation comes together and then only one thing appears.
Yes,
In that
yes.
appearance also, it appeared just like that. Whether it is statues or it is mantras, the mantras also appear in the same way. When you go deep down into your realms of those, literally saying when you touch the Hiranyagarbha, and in that moment you have gone into it with an intention. If you have gone with the intention of power, you get to realize the powers. If you have gone with the intention to create a form of God, you get the form of God. If you have gone with the intention to create a mantra, you create a mantra. Because as I said, it has the seeds of what has been created, what is being created, and what is yet to be created, all there. So the most simplest thing that they could do is they could find, and they found that they should look like you. And why they look like you? Again, I have talked about it. At least one fine day when you go into the temple, you just don't see the God. You see that why they look like me. That means, can I be that? Is there a possibility? And absolutely there is a possibility. The images were created in your form, so that one fine day you realize that I might be that. And the day you realize that I might be that, your search begins as to who are you then. And in that search, what do you find? You find that divinity. And then you surpass even the boundaries of the physicality and the statues and images. And then you travel to the Nirakara, means the one that doesn't have a shape. Because in order to think about God, let's say I didn't give you an image of Shiva and I said, think about Shiva. What would you think? Because there are many of us who cannot even imagine what is shapeless, because all that we know is shapes. So in order to start your journey, they gave you a shape. Just like you are traveling from one place to another, there is a milestone. On that milestone, it is written as Hyderabad, 147 kilometers away. What is that? It is an indication that you are going in the right way, but that is not Hyderabad. So similarly, the statues, images that are created, at least to begin with, where should you begin? Because you cannot think about spaceless. I don't know what it is. Your mind cannot conceive it, so it cannot perceive it. So in order to conceive the idea what God could be, the images started. And then through
But
that image,
this is it. Who defined it? Like, this is the shape of Shiva. This is the
That's
form of
what I
Vishnu.
said.
This is the.
Absolutely. That's where I say, when they went into their deeper self,
Okay.
started finding it in those times, they saw those images to be in that way. Now, have you seen the latest pictures of NASA? The latest pictures of NASA, when they are showing the pictures of galaxy, it is exactly looking like Vishnu sleeping in the Milky Way. I will showcase, if I find that photo again, I will share with you all. And you see how clearly it is visible. It looks like that only. Whatever it has been drawn in our ways, it is already there. And we cannot say that those people have seen it earlier, because there were no telescopes at that time. Then how did they? You see, there are two ways, Deepika ji. Science is way outward. Spirituality is way inward. But both are the same world. So when you don't have a device to find out outside, the only device left with you is within. So now when you see that God again and again in the outside, then you start questioning, just like I questioned myself. Who am I? What am I doing here? How did it all happen? Because when I questioned my mother, where is this God? She showed me in my temple, the goddess. I said, okay, she looks like you only. She looks like my mother, but where is God? And then the internal quest started. And whom did it realize? And I remember one beautiful thing that I have mentioned in the book. You remember, Deepika ji, latestly you will be reading that. You remember one fine day I came back from office and I saw Imon was playing with my ID card. He was still taking that ID card in the hand and he was like kissing it and saying, Papa, Papa. By looking at it, just think of your kid is playing with your photo and playing with it and kissing it and saying, oh, Papa, Papa, oh, Mama, Mama. How would you feel? You know that you are not that image. That is just a paper cut of yours. That is not you. But despite that, when you see that, you feel good. Now just think of if you have created an image of God and you are doing all the puja, will you not be happy? If you are happy by looking at your image, why can't the creator be happy? All that it needs is your innocence. All that it needs is your love towards it. It doesn't matter whether you create a shivling out of it, you create a murti out of it, an image out of it, an idol out of it, or a salagram out of it. It is everywhere. All that is what you choose to find it in. And I said, whether you find it in any other object or not, find it within. Because the best idol of God is you. A living, walking, talking God. Now tell me, why were you created in the same form of those images of God? Now you should answer me. You ask me why the idols were made in that way. I ask you, why were you looking like those idols? Have you ever questioned that? I say, question it in the reverse way. You will find your answers. That means, if those idols look like me, no, it's not that those idols look like me. I look like those idols. Means what? That idol is God and I look like God. That means, who am I? My favorite question. I should be that. That's why I don't question why the idols were made in that way. I question why I look like that. Now reverse the question and you see within your heart something dances. And that's where you are hiding yourself. And that's where you see yourself as well. Now tell me, why do you look like the goddess? Everyone in the room, why do you look like the god or the goddess? What's the reason? Gone. See, the question doesn't appear, it dissolves, resolves, and vanishes. So next time when you question God, question yourself first. The moment you question yourself first, all your questions will vanish because all your answers are already there within you, Deepika ji. And that's when you, have you seen like a kid when he gets its kid like toffee or toy, he jumps around? Yeah. That's what happens within you. All these days you try to hide yourself. All that I do is not give an answer. I just take that wrapper off. And I believe you got your answer. Because your logic is asking the questions. And I can give a very logical answer to that. Many people have talked about it. I don't want to give a logical answer. I say, use the same logic. You remember, we need a stick to burn the stick and to burn the pyre, and then the stick is thrown inside the pyre. Same thing. Same logic. Use the logic to question and use the same logic to burn that question away. So when you question God, at times just reverse the question and ask yourself. अपने ऊपर एक बार वो question पूछ लो, and you will see how beautiful your answers will come. And then you will experience the encounters with the Supreme. So Deepika ji, what's your question?
Nothing, Mahadev.
See, I will come back to the same place. Wherever you take me, I will bring you back home. And the question will be the same. Who are you? Why do you look like the idol in the temple? Don't say me the God has your resemblance. I think you have the resemblance of God. अब बोलो, समाप्त ना? हाँ, इसीलिए इसे महादेव कहते हैं. सब जला के राख. No answer given, but everything is answered. Hey, question? अंदर ही शांत हो गया, क्वेश्चन कहां से आएगा? So thank you.
Dhanyavad Mahadev.
Thank you, and sorry for all the people those who are burning their late night oils today. But Hari Bhai is compensating for the last week, I think. Chalo. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for, but be ready for the next calling. And Sandhya ji, Hari Bhai was asking, भाई थोड़ा rest ले ले. मैं बोला मेरा packing शुरू हो चुका है. I've started packing my bags again. So be ready. I don't know who is going to be called next. So thank you everyone. Yes, don't miss this Sunday one, because 2 points have been covered and 2.5 points are still left. And it's going to be amazing. Deepak, don't ask when, be ready. I can say now. If I say now, are you ready to go? You should. Even without questioning, without any doubt. Everything will be taken care of. So thank you everyone. And thank you for being here, listening to us. And as I said, wherever you are, wherever you go, make sure you realize who you are and make sure you don't return back. Aham Brahmasmi. Har Har Mahadev.